Good day, everyone. You're welcome to this week's Business and Investment Tips Program, a production of RCCG Christ Church Radio with Dr. Ayodeji Ebo, an investment professional. This week, our focus is on the CBN's PMI January 2026 report, expansion sustained, but momentum moderates. This week, we will discuss the CBN's Purchasing Managers Index PMI report for January 2026. This report provides a clear indication of the performance of key economic sectors, services, industry, and agriculture based on responses from purchasing managers across the country. The survey was conducted from January 12 to January 16, 2026. Remember that a PMI reading above 50 indicates expansion, below 50 signals contraction, and the reading of exactly 50 means there is no change in activity. Highlights from the CBN January 2026 PMI report. In January 2026, the composite PMI stood at 55.7, indicating continued growth in overall economic activity. However, this was a slight decrease from December 2025's reading of 57.6, suggesting that while growth remains robust, the pace of expansion has slowed slightly at the start of the year. The decline is typically following the usually strong end-of-year performance in December and should be viewed as a normalization rather than a downturn. Importantly, January 2026 marks the 14th consecutive month of expansion, underscoring the private sector's sustained resilience. Among the 36 subsectors surveyed, 31 reported growth, emphasizing the broad-based nature of the economic activity despite the softer overall reading. The general report is more than just a scoreboard. It serves as a testament to resilient policies and a roadmap for enhancing macroeconomic stability through 2026. Sectoral performance. Sectoral performance showed consistency and strength. The agriculture sector stood at 54.2 points, marking its 18th consecutive expansion, with all 5 subsectors advancing amid robust farming activity. The services sector fell to 54.5 points from 56.4 in December, extending its 12th straight month of growth, with 12 of 14 subsectors reporting gains. The industry sector stood at 56 points, building on prior momentum, with 14 of 17 subsectors expanding, underscoring a solidifying recovery in production and processing. Sub-index performance. The major sub-indices demonstrated vigor, highlighting sustained economic momentum. 1. New orders stood at 54.5 points, signaling robust and broadening demand across the board. 2. Output registered at 56.5 points, reflecting an acceleration in production and activity levels. 3. Employment advanced at 53.7 points, with businesses ramping up hiring amid favorable conditions. 4. Suppliers' delivery time rose to 60.4 points, indicating superior supply chain efficiency and even quicker supplier turnarounds. 5. Raw materials inventory climbed to 53.7 points, pointing to confidence restocking ahead of sustained demand. Collectively, these robust advances illustrate a dynamic and optimistic private sector on an upward trajectory. Subsectoral activity. Of the 36 subsectors surveyed in January 2026, 31 reported expansion in economic activity, reflecting broad improvement. Motion pictures, cinemas, sound recording, and music production posted the strongest growth, while transportation equipment recorded the most notable contraction. No sectors remained unchanged as the economic's upward tide lifted nearly all segments. Key takeaways. 1. Composite PMI maintains strength. Nigeria's economic activity is expanding steadily this year at 55.7 points. This growth is driven by solid output, new orders, and employment gains. Furthermore, positive trends in foreign exchange are lowering import costs and improving business planning. 2. Agriculture powers ahead unabated. At 54.2 points, agriculture marked its 18th consecutive month of growth, with all subsectors prospering, led by livestock. This strong performance highlights productivity increases and the surge in new orders, while the widest input-output price gap at 3.9 points emphasizes the need for subsidies to protect food security and rural livelihoods. 3. Services sector sustains potential. At 54.5 points, the services sector recorded its 12th consecutive expansion, with growth in 12 of 14 subsectors, including finance, education, and digital services. A narrow input-output price gap of 2.1 points indicates firms' adept cost absorption, supported by increased consumer spending and the liquidity boost from banking sector recapitalization. 4. Industry solidifies gains. The sector's reading of 56 56 points signals a strengthening recovery supported by robust output and delivery improvements despite uneven new orders. 14 subsectors grew, but ongoing energy and input issues in laggards underscored the importance of incentives to enhance industrial competitiveness. 5. The output index at 56.5 points and new orders at 54.5 points reflects growing confidence as businesses expand operations and secure more orders, signaling strong job growth potential and positive outlook for Q1. 6. Supply chains reach peak efficiency. The supplier's delivery time at 60.4 points indicates strong performance driven by improved FX liquidity and streamlined logistics, reducing pressures on producers and enabling quicker market responses. 7. Near universal subsector surge. With 31 of 36 subsectors expanding, the recovery is becoming more inclusive. The 5 mild contractions are minor, but they highlight opportunities for targeted support in vulnerable, import-dependent sectors to ensure no one is left behind. In conclusion, the CBN's January 2026 PMI signals a robust 14th month of expansion at 55.7 points, with agriculture and services performing steadily, industry gaining momentum, and sub-indices such as output and new orders remaining elevated. Narrowing price gaps across sector indicates resilience, while agriculture's challenges call for intervention. With Q1 GDP projections for 3.5% to 4% growth, prioritizing inflation control, agricultural security, and infrastructure development will be vital to outpace population growth and achieve truly inclusive prosperity, raising living standards across the country. Thank you for listening. Please join us same time next week for another interesting and insightful session. For questions, comments, and feedback, kindly forward to ebo.ayodeji@gmail.com or send an SMS to 0708-246-3747. Stay blessed and have a great week. Bye.